the federal administration is in this also. Our federal government, not just the states. Our federal government is in on this sweet deal. But now, remember I said that if you lose, you have to pay lawyer's fees. You have to pay lawyer's fees. They can hire a lawyer, but you can't. You can't hire a lawyer. It says claims must proceed on an individual and non-class and non-representative. You can't have a representative basis. So you can't have a class action suit, and you can't have on a non-representative basis. You can't hire a lawyer. You haul and you agree that claims are two or more unless arising from the same transaction. Furthermore, you haul arbitration as a class action or private attorney general action or for the behalf of any court, including assigned claims. The arbitrator shall have the authority to award relief on any individual and non-class, non-representative basis. You agree, you voluntarily knowing accept this arbitration agreement. So they can hire a lawyer, but you can't. But you have to pay attorney fees. Hold on 1 minute. Let me find you another good part. Oh, so you have to pay an arbitrator's fee. The amount of arbitrator award is you have to pay the fee. You have to pay fees and costs for using their arbitrator. For preparing for reasonable fees, attorney fees occur from investigating, preparing, and pursuing your claim as arbitration attorney. And then, as I said, you have to use the arbitrator authority. The arbitrator shall issue a written decision sufficient to explain the essential findings and the conclusion. Now, number one, you have to notify U-Haul that you are suing them. You have to wait 60 days. And if they don't pay you, then they turn it over to the arbitrator. And the arbitrator shall issue a written decision sufficient to explain the essential findings and conclusion on which the award is based. The arbitrator has the authority to make rulings and resolve disputes as to the payment and reimbursement of fees, expenses, and alternate payments and attorney premium at any time during a procedure upon request. So they're still going to seek you with more fees. They're going to attorney premium. So again, the arbitrator is going to stick you with more fees. Within 50 days of the arbitrator's, within 14 days of the arbitrator's ruling on the matters, the arbitrator has the authority to award any form of individual relief, including equitable relief, including injunctions and other relief available under applicable law. The arbitrator is bound by the agreements. All issues are for the arbitrator to decide. Agreement to the court competent jurisdiction side fees, except for otherwise provided in agreement. U-Haul will pay all AA administration and arbitrator fees for any arbitration initiated in accordance with the notice procedure. Current filing fees, you have to pay fees. Current filing fees are available on www.adr.org. And you know who org is. Org is the government. If, however, the arbitrator finds that either the substance of your claim or relief sought in the demand is frivolous, them arbitrators will always say your claims are frivolous, or brought for other substance of your claim an improper purpose as measured by the standard set forth by the federal government, then the payment of all fees will be governed by the AAA rules. In such case, you agree reimbursement to U-Haul for all monies previously dispersed or that otherwise your obligation to pay under federal AA rules. Attorney fees and costs. The right for attorney fees and expenses in addition to all right to awards of attorney fees costs. Although under some laws, U-Haul may have the right to a award of attorney fees and expenses if it prevails as arbitrator. The claims that do not exceed the jurisdiction limit of the state claims court, either you or U-Haul may bring claims in small claims court in lieu of the arbitrator. So, they don't want you to have an attorney. Now they're talking out of both sides of the face. You can't hire an attorney, but they can. They want you to use the arbitrator supposed to be governed by the state, but you know the state controls all of that. So, let me show you one more thing. I'm going to load this and get my other paperwork together and show you how they have tried to stick me up as far as money. And I'll be right back for part 4.